We have an individual culture. We're obsessed with individuals, but this is a team sport, okay? And the team sport says Derrick White's a better fit for Team USA than Jaylen Brown. If you ran a simulation, Team USA with Jaylen Brown versus Team USA with Derrick White, I promise you, it will be like 162 to 163. It's a marginal gap. But in the end, you have guys who are going to need to take the NPCDs. You're not playing 12 guys. We already see what the controversy's been so far about, Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton getting a DMPCD. You want to add Jaylen Brown to that mix as well, especially when the talent gap and actual impact gap is not that big. I think Derrick White's a better defender. Honestly, I do. I think he's a better off-ball player. I think Jaylen Brown's better with the ball. Yeah, if I'm Team Canada, I'm calling Jaylen Brown. But if I'm Team USA, I call Derrick White 10 times out of 10. There's no conspiracy. And to me, that's a little bit weird from Jaylen Brown. I don't think he's getting enough pushback for this. It's like, why are you so salty about your teammate getting an opportunity? Y'all just won a championship together. You can't be happy for Derrick White. You got to be counting yours. It's not enough that you got Eastern Conference MVP. It's not you got the biggest contract in the NBA. It's not enough you got Finals MVP. Everyone sacrificed for you to get that because Lord knows the Celtics could have won 50 different ways, right? It's not like Jason Tatum couldn't have gone out and shot 50 shots a game. I realized he was missing a lot of shots, and I'm not taking anything away from Jaylen Brown, but this, like, he's gassing himself up to think he's one of the 5-6 best players in the world, and that's why he's offended. And if he was one of the 5-6 best players in the world, he should be offended. Unfortunately, that's not the reality. He's not that good.
There's no way you can say with a straight face that Derrick White fits better with this team than Jaylen Brown.
I just said it with a straight face. With my face crooked?
Secondly, I don't care how much money I'm making. Like, and on top of that, like, yeah, anybody, if you call that people sacrificing, this is the way we play basketball for the Celtics. Like, yeah, of course. I say that a lot too. We can all win certain ways, but I'm not gonna act like Jason Tatum got out of his way so that he could win Finals MVP or Eastern Conference Finals MVP. That was just playing basketball. Jaylen Brown deserves a little more respect than what he's been given. 100%. Now, there's a lot of people that could be upset for not being picked on the team. That doesn't mean they're being selfish. You know what I mean? Like, on top of that, Derrick White was a replacement anyway. I'm sure it's not. Derrick White doesn't feel disrespected. Like, why would Derrick White knows Jaylen's better than him? So why would he? It's not like he's like, oh, fuck Derrick White. He shouldn't. He's just simply saying, oh, I should have been picked on this team. Even before Derrick White was a replacement, I should have been picked on this team.
Yes, if it's a one-on-one tournament, you should be picked on this team. But as a team dynamic, we understand that there are certain guys who are going to fit in better into a situation where LeBron James is going to have the ball. And there are certain guys who are going to be a little less useful off the ball. I'm sorry. I think Derrick White is being criminally underrated here. He is one of the 50 best players in the NBA. In my opinion, he's one of the 50 best players in the NBA. And yeah, you could say Jaylen Brown's a better player than Derrick White individually. But it's not that big a gap. We're not talking about the 7th best player and the 50th best player. It's not that big a gap. Just because one guy won Finals MVP and the other guy didn't, that's their role. That's their role.
It's not about the Finals MVP. There is a big gap between Jaylen Brown and Derrick White. A big gap. I'm talking about a gap you can't miss. You can't trip over this gap. You can see it from a mile away. There's a huge gap between Derrick White and Jaylen Brown.
How much better?
Yeah, it's their player style.
That's what I was about to ask. So Jaylen Brown as the player, because that's essentially what we're talking about, Jaylen Brown and Derrick White. How much better is Jaylen Brown at his job than Derrick White is at his job, in your estimation?
At their specific roles, now that gap is a little closer. Derrick White is great at his role. Derrick White does amazing at his role. So does Jaylen Brown. He does. But just because somebody plays one role on a team doesn't mean they can't play another role on another team. We've seen that, right? That's what we were talking about yesterday, sacrificing, because you can't play 12 guys, right? I don't understand that. But Jaylen Brown could for sure play off of LeBron James. Jaylen Brown doesn't have to play the same way. That's the beauty of basketball. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to play the same with every team. And to act like Jaylen Brown isn't versatile in that aspect, I think it's crazy. I think it's wild to think that he can't fill in a different role. My point is this: for us to even pretend like it's close between Jaylen Brown and Derrick White is extremely naive. Extremely naive.
I don't think that they're
Fellas,
close.
let me step in right quick. I want to encourage everybody to like the video. I got a poll running right now, and you guys are saying that Jaylen Brown is a better fit for Team USA. 57% of y'all, to be exact, think that he's better than Derrick White. But also, I want to shout out to everybody that's in the comment section. Want to shout out to all of our members, our Hall of Famers, to be exact. Y'all know the names. But in case y'all don't, I'm going to run it down again. Kendall Daniels, the GOAT himself, Dorian Clayton, Cobra, son of Raditz, and also the newest Hall of Famer, Multi Kenny. Big shout out to Multi Kenny. Big shout out to all of those guys. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Chill, as you were saying.
I forgot what I was saying, but to Ox's point, when you're talking about player for player, I don't think Jaylen Brown and Derrick White, player to player, I think Jaylen Brown is a better player than Derrick White. But I think that for what Derrick White does, not just for specifically for the Boston Celtics, not just specifically for the Boston Celtics, when you put him right, when you put him on a crew where what he does is necessary, it's not many crews on it. It's not many crews in the league where if you put Derrick White on that crew, like if you put him in Philly, if you put him in Milwaukee, how much better they would make him. Jaylen Brown and Jaylen Brown, we would have to navigate with him if you put him on Milwaukee, because now I got to play off Damian Lillard. Now I got to protect Damian Lillard a little bit more. If you put him in that kind of space, I think it's a little bit different than him. A little bit different for him. Just
I disagree. I think, and that's my point. Like, somebody said in the chat, you need elite role players to fill the team. Yeah, I think Jaylen Brown will be an elite role player on this team with Steph Curry,
yep.
LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. I think I don't see how just because somebody plays a star role on this team, they can't be a role player on that team. That's what happens when you put somebody around players that are better than them. You know what I mean? Like, and so when you say if you put Jaylen Brown on Milwaukee,
sure,
or Derrick White on Milwaukee, I believe that the team with Jaylen Brown is the far superior team.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No,
well,
it's not.
Number one.
All right. I guess we're doing this today.
The reason why I want you to stay there, Penn. The reason why I want you to stay there, Penn, is because I'm thinking about where Ox is going with this. He's just going from a player standpoint. Ox, I don't think you give enough credit to the transition of becoming. They're all role players. I've already said that. Every last one of these dudes is role players. But when you make the transition from being this kind of role player to this kind of role player, it's not nearly the same as what Derrick White is doing, who I'm just segueing into my role anyway. I don't have to make a transition. I'm doing this anyway.
What is guys? Let's keep on Milwaukee. What do these guys need to do in Milwaukee? What do they need to do?
Bro,
what does Milwaukee
need to compensate for the biggest cone defender in the NBA? That's Damian Lillard.
Okay, and Jaylen Brown can't do that. Gotcha.
Derrick White is a much better defender than Jaylen Brown. I don't think you see that. But look, man, we're okay.
I don't.
NBA GMs.
You're right. I don't see that.
NBA GMs do not think the way your chat thinks and do not think the way that fans think. Okay, that's why OG Anunoby. If the chat could pay OG Anunoby homeless right now. Okay, but NBA GMs are not stupid. They see $212 million because they understand what 3-and-D means. 3-and-D means portability. 3-and-D means elevation of other players. I need space. And for me to have space, I don't even have to have this frigging conversation about PJ Washington all over again before I lose my damn mind. We need players who can do things without the basketball. And it's not something you can just say, oh, well, you're a star, but no, now be a role player. It doesn't work that way. These are actual elite skill sets. Jaylen Brown will never guard the rim as well as Derrick White, ever. You can roll your eyes. It's not going to happen. You can roll your eyes 50 times. It's never going to happen. Okay, he's not a better defender. He's not a better passer. He's not a better shooter. What is he? He's a better scorer. Congratulations. I don't need that. I got Kevin Durant. I got LeBron James. I got Joel Embiid. How many mouths am I going to feed with Jaylen Brown? And now, next thing I know, I got to deal with him rolling his eyes and being all salty like you and trying to get Canadian citizenship because he got a DMPCD. I'll take Derrick White. Thank you very much. I think you have to factor in who your star is and then build around that. I hate the way fans think. They're like, oh, this guy's too good to be left off. It's like, it doesn't matter how good he is to be left off. It matters who your best player is. Jaylen Brown going to come in and be one of the 5 best players on Team USA? No. Is he going to be a go-to option? No. He's going to be a 4th option. So you got to think about that. Who's the best 4th option? Who's a better 4th option? Derrick White or Jaylen Brown?
The better 4th option. The better 4th option is the better player that can fit into that role. You're watching what Jaylen Brown does with you. You're watching what Jaylen Brown does with Boston, and you're assuming that he can't do what Derrick White does somewhere else. He's not that player with them because they got that. You know what I'm saying? So you're telling me that Jaylen Brown can't do. You can roll your eyes. You're still wrong. You can't tell me that a player as good as this can't lessen what they do. What you and Chill are trying to sell me is that the guys that are here can't do a little less and be here. And that's crazy.
It's not less.
That's not what
That's different.
It's
okay.
Way different.
He got all that in his bag.
So you say, hold on. Wait, Ox. Go ahead, Mars.
Are you saying Jaylen Brown could be Derrick White better than Derrick White could be Derrick White? Is that what you're saying?
There we go. That's the question.
Yes, 100%.
What?
No.
100%.
Cool. Because I feel like we're going in circles, but if Ox believes that Jaylen Brown is a better Derrick White than Derrick White, then
that's crazy.
You guys are just going to fundamentally disagree. There's not going to be a common ground.
This is that PJ Washington bullshit all over again.
And
I was right about PJ Washington too.
You were damn wrong.
It's the player choice way. That them boys don't get it started. The player choice way.